So once again, hello traders, I am Simon from FTMO, and if you are new here, what we are doing is that we are finding traders that are able to pass our evaluation process. And today is a special day because we are looking at traders that have been through the entire evaluation process and are now trading on their FTMO accounts. So that means that they are eligible for commissions from trading. So let's jump into it. And all of these accounts are fresh. All of these started in April, and that means that we can evaluate their progress from the first month of trading and compare their results. You can also see that we have hidden the numbers of the FTMO accounts. That is simply because we don't want to put more pressure on these traders because there is some serious risk involved. And straight away you can see that this account looks really nice. Just looking at the balance curve, there is profit of almost $11,000, so that's very good. And also it was made just in 13 trades. Not sure about the days, but 13 trades for sure. In the trading objectives, I cannot see a single issue here. Actually, you can see that in the balance there is profit of almost $11,000, and in the profit it's a little bit more. That might be because there is still some position that is running. So keep in mind that these graphs always tell us story of the past, but not necessarily what is happening now, because maybe if the trader has some trades running, it doesn't really reflect that. Anyway, this trader executed just 13 trades using 47 lots, and average risk reward ratio is 1.3, almost 1.3, and the win rate is almost 85%. So these are really good stats. In the daily summary, I can see just profits basically, with an exception of this day. The volume is actually split quite nicely across all days, so I am really happy about that. Now the trading journal tells us the entire history of this account. He is not exactly a day trader because some of the trades are running overnight. He doesn't really mind that. Another pleasant thing to see is that the volume is split very nicely even across the positions. So you could see that there is 13 lots in one day, but still the positions are quite equal in their volume. The trader is profitable on buying and selling as well. And the single most profitable instrument here is Canadian dollar and Japanese yen. Then are some other forex pairs, but not really that significant. So more than half of the entire profit is made on Canadian dollar and Japanese yen, and the most profitable volume is 4.2, but still every single position is around 4 lots. So that's been quite cool. Now this trader is waiting for his or her commission, so let's look at another one. So this account is for 70,000 British pounds instead of dollars, and in this case the start wasn't really that great, but in the end it still worked out just great. So even this trader made around 10% of his account in the first month, which is absolutely outstanding. You can see that even the start and the profit split day are the same date. Once more in the objectives, I cannot really see an issue here, but as I can see, there is a huge difference between the profit and the balance. And unfortunately, it is because this trader has some position left open, and this position is actually in a loss. So that's not really that great, but still there is this profit. So if he or she finishes with this profit, I think it's pretty good. Of course, keep in mind that these traders will also get their initial fees that they had to pay when they started the challenge. So there is also that. There are 45 trades executed using 152 lots, so something over 3 lots per position. The average risk reward ratio is almost 1.4, and the win rate is 62%. For the most part, all of the days are pretty much profitable, with an exception of few ones and the unlucky beginning. On the last page of the trading journal, we can still see mostly just forex. Once more, this is not exactly a day trader. Some positions are left open overnight, and the volume is actually pretty similar across all positions, which is nice. Unfortunately, we cannot really see a single stop loss or take profit on the last page of the trading journal. So we don't really like that, but at the same time, if it works, it works, and there is nothing we can do about it. But still, we would be even happier to know that you are using that stop loss and perhaps even that take profit. Buys are definitely more profitable than sells, but still both are very much still profitable. And the single most profitable instrument is New Zealand dollar and Canadian dollar. And actually top 3 profitable instruments are all paired with Canadian dollar, interestingly enough. So this is it for this account. This trader is probably still waiting for the profit split. There is still this position open. So we'll see how it goes. This account is for 80,000 euros. Now the start was very unlucky. Actually, there was a point where this trader could actually lose this account, which was right about here. But fortunately, this trader got out of that. There was somewhat of a huge spike from here to here. So he basically made like 10,000 euros with this sort of movement. And from that point on, there was a slight dip right here. But other than that, it was just straight up. And now he or she is in a profit of actually 17,000 euros. So that profit is absolutely fantastic. Not really that max loss because there was just like 350 euros. So 350 euros more and this account would have been violated. But fortunately, this trader somehow managed his losses and his psychology, and in the end, just managed to make this huge profit. There were 229 trades executed so far, using volume of 700 and almost 30 lots. The average risk reward ratio is 1.74, so that's quite high. Unfortunately, the win rate is not really that great. It's only 44%. But of course, combined with this average risk reward ratio, it's still quite good. In this case, perhaps the volume isn't split as nicely as was the case with the previous traders, because for example, you can see 6 lots here, then you can see 52 lots right here. But you know, that's up to you. If you can see some good signals, then why not pick it up? Other than that, I can still see some nice consistency, some nice profits, some losses, more so in the beginning of the trading period. But it's not like the volume, the entirety of 700 lots was used in a single day or like 2 days. And volume per position is actually split quite nicely. It's usually 2, 4, 3 or 5 lots. So still it's not like 20 lots per position, which is good when you are not doing that. And there are actually stop losses used for the most part, but not always. The same goes for take profits. Now, I think that this is mostly a day trader. There is a position running overnight right here. But other than that, no other positions were left open overnight. This trader trades Forex for the most part, but also a bit of gold and some indices, so I'm not sure if he is really that specialized. Most profits were made on buying, on selling actually as well, and the single most profitable instrument is US 30 index. Okay, so that's quite interesting because most positions, at least on the last page of the trading journal, are on Forex, but most profits are definitely made on indices. So perhaps the Forex positions aren't that important, and he is maybe specialized on trading indices. We don't really know, and neither do we have time for that to go through the entire of the trading journal. Either way, still very nice profit. This is the single biggest profit that we have seen so far in this video. So let's move on to another one. So this one is more wild and messy, and there are actually 4 quite big dips right here, 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 and here. So that's not really that fortunate, but in the end, there is still very nice profit. So while it is quite wild, it's not boring, but that is not really a good thing necessarily, at least not in trading. The max daily loss was actually quite close to being violated, which is not good, but at the same time, there is some very nice profit. And I think that this is a little bit different from this number, which it is. So I think that there is some position running. This trader executed 117 trades using 350 lots. The average risk reward ratio is 1.33 with win rate of almost 53%. So those are some nice solid numbers. When you look at the daily summary, The volume is split somewhat nicely across all days, not necessarily across all, because, for example, here you can see just 4 lots, which is not a lot, or for example, right here or here, but the actual profits and losses are split somewhat nicely across the entire trading period, which is still considered consistent. Almost all of the positions on the last page of the trading journal are sells, with an exception of this one, and all of them are on Forex. At the same time, all of them have set stop loss and take profit, which is very good. And this trader is not exactly a pure day trader, because some positions are just left open overnight. So while there are mostly sells on the last page, most profits are made on buying still somehow. Selling is still profitable here. And the single most profitable instrument is New Zealand dollar and US dollar. So this is a solid account with solid statistics. So some very nice trading here. Of course, the graph doesn't look really that great, but keep in mind that this is only for those closed positions. Now, the last account is not really that wild and messy. It's more even and more straight. No huge dips. There are some minor dips, but this is not really that significant, and the profit is actually super high. Now, I have just noticed that this is 12,000 pounds, and here it's almost 40,000 pounds. So that's more than half of the entire account, which is huge. Now, I guess that there is also some big risk involved, because as you can see from the max daily loss, this trader was really close to breaching it. But clearly you can see that it paid off tremendously. This trader executed 59 trades using almost 540 lots. So that's really close to 10 lots per position, maybe 9 or 8. The average risk reward ratio is super high, and that basically explains the entire profit. It's 4.2. The win rate is 35.5%, which is not really that great, but with this super high average risk reward ratio, it still works. Now, there are huge gains and huge losses left and right, maybe not for the first day of the trading period, but other than that, there are just major movements all over the place. I would still say that this is consistent, because the volume is fairly similar across all days, and so is the number of trades per day. So that's just lovely. Now, when I scroll down to the trading journal, actually volume per position varies quite a lot. So I don't really know the pattern here. Also, this is just a pure day trader, according to the last page of the trading journal, at least. And he or she is using stop losses and take profits all the time. Well, not here. Now, regarding the instruments, he or she is using Forex and also gold. There is very nice split between buys and sells. There is no huge difference. And the single most profitable instrument is gold. So that's lovely. At the same time, you can see that there are just 4 instruments. So he or she is not using like 10 or 20. So this is more specialized trading, which is good because you can really focus, see the patterns in charts over time. So there you go. So that was just outstanding. I'm not really sure that we have seen even this huge profit in a single month in this video series. So yeah, I'm just shocked. All right, and with that, this is it for this video.